Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name for the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the name for His only begotten Son, who the Lord eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, top in this truth and rule well. Salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh Shai, coming that you know, less the spirit power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. This lesson is going to be going into basically to not lose yourself in this truth. You know, you don't want to get to the point to where you're not able to function because you're getting too dived into the scriptures. You're getting too vexed in the spirit to where you can't really function in life, to where you begin to let yourself go, not handle your business around your home, or your family members, and so on and so forth. Because for one thing, those that have been called to do this work as prophets, we live and breathe this thing. Once we find out this truth, that's all we want to do is straight up just teach, or be edified, and constantly watch videos 24/7, because you become obsessed and just in love with learning this ministry. And there's nothing wrong with having that passion, but you just have to remember that you're still a child of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and you still have to function through this life. You can't just be totally over consumed in this thing to where you become a lion in your own household, or you become too overly angry at all the sin that's going on, because ultimately this is nothing of your control on what's happening around you. This is all Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's program. So you have to remind yourself that your anger is not going to change what is happening around you. Only the Lord can do that. Now, it is righteous to have anger as far as the sin and the shit that's going on, within Babylon, all the bullshit that we had to go through. But you don't want to put yourself in this mentality to where you're, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're projecting that anger and mentally, telling yourself that, you being angry about it is going to fix the situation. It's not. Okay? This is Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? You can actually destroy yourself trying to be over righteous, trying to be completely perfect with everything you do within this truth. It's just not possible. It's not possible that you can fully keep, for example, the Sabbath, 100% the correct way within Babylon. There's too much shit involved. There's just too many obstacles that's happening in your way. You could even try to say, oh, well, I'm keeping the Sabbath, but you're not supposed to light a fire, but yeah, you just started your engine, or your furnace might be running, and those little stuff like that you don't even think about. But you can't just because you had to do those things, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to be mentally consume myself and beat myself down for not being able to do everything perfect, and because it's not possible. Okay, and destroying yourself means can go into you get to the point to where you're so consumed in this truth, and you're pushing out so much shows and lessons to where you just can't function. You start to let your body go. Maybe you're not doing your bodily exercise. You begin to get sick, or your household begins to get out of control. Your grooming starts to go down. You don't want to do that. Okay, the Lord didn't say that that's what we had to do. You still want to be a well-groomed and presentable man in this ministry. You want to be the representation, the image of our people, or the Lord's chosen to lead the people. You want to be that king that people look up to, so you got to make sure you're not losing yourself in this truth. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being as passionate as you are about this thing. Just have balance with it, okay? Just have balance. This is James 1:19. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. You know, you can't just be this loose cannon within this truth. You know, especially at the times to come, Esau is looking for any and every reason to persecute us, man. Don't give him a reason to persecute you. You know, because they're gonna invent reasons. Let them try to make up and invent shit. Don't physically give them shit to hem your ass up, man. Because when you're in this truth, you know, you can get extremely angry, and that's a righteous thing to have that anger. You should be angry and upset about what's happening around you. But you don't want to be out there, you know, teaching, and you're losing your cool, and you end up being the first one to swing on somebody, or you know, or you're saying something to where you know it's going to cause a fight. You know, you got to be able to be wise as serpents and harmless dove within this truth. You know, keep in mind of the times that at hand that we're in. You know, with them trying to take us off the YouTube platform, what that's going to do, that's going to begin to push people to come out and inquire physically in person at the highways and hedges. So it means you're going to be dealing with a lot more altercations. Brothers got to meditate on that. You know, you're really going to be having to have to lead by example. You can't just do anything and anything anymore. You know, you gotta be real wise and circumspect when dealing with situations. And I always like to watch the apostles and elders on how they're out there at the highways and hedges. You know, they're not out there, you know, really contentious with anybody. They're not out there to cause a fight. You know, they tell the truth. They give it cold, clean cut. You know, sometimes they do raise their voice. They may cuss somebody out. But for the most part, when you're watching the apostles and elders, you know, they're real calm and collected when they're out there teaching this truth. You know, you got to be in the mentality of them. You know, don't be too, I guess, what's a loose cannon, I guess, is a best way I can put it. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus 4:30. It says, "Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants." Okay, so when you're in the truth, and a lot of brothers got family members, they got kids, they may have a wife, they may be living with their mother, their grandmother, so on and so forth, you know, and the shit that they do can be so vexing to the point you just want to lose your cool and go off on them, man. But that's not wise. At the end of the day, you still got to reside with those people, so you got to be the wisest of that home. You know, you don't want to be a lion to where you just nobody can deal with you. Everybody that's around you, you're so quick to beat their ass or cuss them out. You know, that's not what this thing is about. I mean, granted, when you're at the highways and hedges, that's one thing. You know, people get cussed out all the time. It's a time and place for everything. But as a person, you yourself, you got to remember to not lose yourself. Okay? And go back to doing things that keep your mind focused and occupied in righteousness. You know, brothers got talents out here. You know, if you got a talent with instruments or something like that, there's nothing wrong with every once in a while, you know, playing some music to, you know, keep your tempo calm down, you know, in conjunction with the scriptures. But you should be doing things to use your skill sets, the gifts that you have, to even help support some of the ministry. You know, some brothers are good with the pen and the pad. They may be able to write music, or they may be able to draw or paint. You know, and ultimately, things that the Lord gave you certain talents for, you know, can be something for you to get a job. The scriptures talk about, you know, a man that don't work don't eat. So you don't want to be at this point to where all I want to do is all I care about is just teaching the Bible, and I just want to learn all day. I don't give a fuck about working. Then you get to work, and you're getting into it with your bosses, and you find yourself fired all the damn time. You know, you got to start examining yourself. Are you becoming that person that's a frantic or a lion in the house? You don't want to do that. That's not what being in this truth is about. Yes, it's righteous to have anger, but you got to control that. You know, you got to be like a incognito and low key when it comes to walking around and dealing with people in the world. They really should even know who you are too much. You know, I mean, your spirit's going to show regardless. They're going to know that, you know, you believe in a higher power, and just your aura is going to give it off But for the most part, they shouldn't discover what you about because you're just so pissed off and angry and losing your damn mind all the time. You know what I'm saying? It says, be not a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. Now, if we look up that word frantic, right, we're going to see what it says. Okay, frantic, the definition of frantic, it says emotionally out of control. Okay, are you emotionally out of control to where, you just can't function around regular people in society? That's a problem, man. Are people looking at you like, what's wrong with this dude? This dude is a hothead. Are you being called that? Or people, saying, hey, what's wrong with this man? How come he just can't, be social, something like that. Have at least a decent personality about you. You know what I mean? Don't lose yourself. Still be able to be yourself within this truth. The Lord likes all of our unique spirits. That's why it's beautiful that brothers, they go out to prophesy, and each brother got their own type of different garments they come out there with. Brothers got, like I said, mentioned before, different talents and stuff. The Lord gave brothers different gifts for certain reasons, but use it all to function to benefit the body, all as one. Okay, but don't be frantic, what the scriptures say. Don't be nor frantic among thy servants. So who are the servants? Those are your fellow brothers that are teaching. You don't want to be among your brothers and they feel like that, you're just this depressed guy all the time. They got to constantly pick you up, or opposite, vice versa. They don't want to be around brothers thinking like, oh man, I don't even know if I want to too much go and fellowship with this brother in public because I feel like he gonna get in a fight. You don't want to be that person, man. That's not good. You need to make sure you examine yourself. This is Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Okay? So a city that is broken down, a city that doesn't have walls, doesn't have any protection. It's destroyed. It's been ransacked and invaded from barbarian tribes and stuff like that, man. So if you don't have no rule or control of your spirit, and you just going off and out there, just I don't give a fuck about nothing, and fuck you, fuck everybody, fuck the world, fuck my mama, fuck my daddy, fuck my kids, fuck this, fuck that, and what are you doing, man? Because that's not what Yahweh Shai was like. I mean, Yahweh Shai clearly, still had his family around him while he was teaching. I mean, for the most part, he still dealt with people. He says he sat amongst publicans and sinners. So that means he had to have some type of I can't think today, man. I'm all tongue tied. But he had to have some type of aura or a good persona about him to be able to get along with people, to the point where he was able to sit amongst publicans and sinners. I mean, when he was teaching, yeah, he was going off on every damn body. Cool, that's cool when you're teaching. But also with that, make sure you're controlling your spirit with that too. You got to be able to judge the circumstances, the situations. At the end of the day, it's our job. Our job is to prophesy, to edify the body, and to wake up the hopeful elect. It's not about showing your toughness or proving your point to somebody that you're not somebody to be fucked with. It's not about that. Who gives a fuck if you're somebody not to be fucked with? Nobody gives a shit about you. They don't give a damn about that. Don't be out there all puffed up, supercharged, gung-ho. Like, no, get out there and do your job. Your job is to teach this word. Okay? That's it. And I'm doing this lesson, speaking to myself, because I've been guilty of being too consumed in this truth to where I just stopped giving a damn about shit. Stop giving a damn about myself, my appearance, what's going on around me, people around me. And I don't want to say I just didn't give a damn, but it's just like I stopped paying attention, and I started losing who I was as a person, because the Lord wants us to renew our minds and be reborn, but that doesn't mean, lose your whole personality and who you are as a human being. You know, the Lord likes that uniqueness about you. Continue to bring that out. If you got skill set, if you are somebody that like, for example, myself, you know, I like art, and I also like martial arts. So, you know, do those two things to you can you know, build it into a fellowship with the brothers or something like that. You know, you and the brothers could go to the gym and do, you know, do your boxing and shit like that. Or you may want to use your art skill set to you know, make a lot of brothers are getting into like the stones and stuff like that. You know, make some jewelry for the Akim. You know, that can be beneficial to their spirit while they're out there prophesying. You know, think of some ways that you can be yourself and use yourself to help the body. Okay? Not just being so consumed that I'm just so focused on being perfect, the scriptures. And you know, what the scriptures say that we brought out earlier, and you're destroying yourself. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself, what the Lord said? Why? What are you destroying yourself for? Is that what he gave this truth for? Is to destroy yourself? No, man. No. You know, and like I said, I'm doing this lesson. I'm not perfect, man. A lot of brothers come to this truth needs to hear this. Because you got brothers that come into this truth and it's like they can't function in society no more because they think that all they need to do is just this word. You know, and if there was enough Israelites that were learning and were tithing properly, then you could just do this as your full-time job and specifically just teach and that's it. You know, ideally every brother would love that, but that's just not reality, man. They're really just not. That's really not reality. So you got to keep that in mind when you're in this ministry. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Shalom.